So Salah's time with Liverpool is officially over. That's very sad to see, especially after all the great years he's had with them. He's now turned into a villain for the club. He wants to really leave the club, and Liverpool wants him out. It's a tragedy, but this isn't the end of Mohamed Salah's career. He's looking for redemption, revenge, and a good ending. So first, he needs to find another club, someone that's willing to get this 33-year-old into their team. Now, let's see what clubs offer for him first of all. And the first offer is a crazy offer. Arsenal wants Mohamed Salah. That would be insane if he went to them. Could win the Premier League with them, but he doesn't want to compete for game time with Saka, so he will reject them. Now, this is an interesting offer. Chelsea, the club he's apparently known for failing at. But again, Salah has no interest in joining them, so he will also reject them. Now he gets an offer from Juventus. Could be a big move for him, especially in the Serie A. But he doesn't want to snake his former club Roma. So therefore, he will also be rejecting Juventus offer. It seems like he's rejecting every single transfer offer he gets. And another big offer here, this time from Bayern Munich, who's in amazing form. But again, he could struggle with minutes now that Michael Olise is in amazing form. So he's going to be rejecting them also. And now, an offer from Spurs. He doesn't even need to think twice in order to reject this. I don't think I even need to explain that choice. Manchester United could be a stingy move, joining Liverpool's rivals just to get revenge. But Salah still has a love for the Liverpool fans, so he won't do that. But now he gets an interesting offer. Atletico Madrid, a club where he will be getting game time while still competing. So Mohamed Salah has signed a deal until 2027 with Atletico Madrid. He's stepping into a new country, new league, new rivals. At the age of 33, he's trying to prove he's still got it. But this is a good time to explain the overall objective. He has decided that he will play 5 more years of football. But in those 5 years, he has to get at least 75 goals, 30 assists, and win 5 trophies. If he does that, he ends his career as a success, and he will have proved Liverpool wrong. But he is old, and not a lot of top clubs want him. So in order to keep his contract at Atletico Madrid, he will need to complete objectives with them. So he's joining Atletico Madrid in January, so halfway through the season, and they're currently in 4th place. But in the Champions League, they're currently on 8th. The Atletico Madrid board just wants at least a top 4 finish in the La Liga or reach the Champions League quarterfinals if Salah wants to stay for another year. So let's just simulate the first half season of Salah in Atletico Madrid to see how he does. So we're at the end of the first half season. Let's see how they did. Atletico Madrid ended up getting 4th, so that's already 1 more year secured for Salah. They did actually win the Spanish Super Cup, so that's 1 out of 5 trophies won, but then they couldn't win the Copa de España. And they lost to Manchester City in the Champions League round of 16. Mohamed Salah had an alright start, getting 4 goals with 1 assist. Actually, that's not really that good, and he dropped 2 in his overall rating. So if he wants a chance of completing the challenge, he needs to step up. But that was season 0.5. The first actual season begins now. And for this season, Atletico Madrid has brought in some reinforcements. They have signed the youngster Nico Paz, and then also Mancini to strengthen their defense. So still a lot of expectations for Salah. His contract will run out at the end of the season, so he still needs to perform well if he still wants a chance at another big club. But let's just simulate this actual first season to see how he does now. We're now at the end of the first actual season. Can Salah win another trophy? Well, Atletico Madrid gets 3rd this time, so a little better actually. They can't win the Copa de España, and they couldn't even make it through the league phase of the Champions League. And Salah actually only got 11 goals with 6 assists, which puts his total on 15 goals and 7 assists. Not that great, but his contract is running out, so he needs to find another club. Let's see what clubs want this now 35-year-old Mohamed Salah, and the first offer he gets is actually from Barcelona, a swap deal, but he doesn't want to stay in Spain, so he has decided to reject them. Now he actually gets an interesting offer. Aston Villa, a chance to get back in the Premier League and get revenge, and that's exactly what he'll do. Mohamed Salah is coming back to the Premier League to join Aston Villa. Yes, that's right. And he has only one thing on his mind: revenge on Liverpool. Has he still got it in him, or is he just old and washed? The Aston Villa team does look really incredible, especially with Salah in it now. He has 2 years here in the Premier League. So let's just simulate his first season in Aston Villa and see how he does. So we're at the end of the season here, and if you still haven't subscribed, you actually support Spurs. Who the hell wants to support them? Yeah, you better subscribe. Anyways, let's see how they did. And Aston Villa managed to get 4th in the league. That's pretty decent actually, but they still finished below Liverpool. They couldn't win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, and they lost the Europa League final to Villarreal. That's just heartbreaking. Salah actually got 20 goals with 6 assists. That's a very good season for his age. That puts his total at 35 goals and 12 assists at the end of the second season. Pretty decent actually. But he still has one more season here in Villa, and Aston Villa has made a few signings. Fikayo Tomori is going to be coming in to help at the center back, and then Connor Bradley will be coming in as their new right back. So that strengthens their defense, and hopefully it'll help Salah to do better with them. But let's just simulate his second season here at Aston Villa and see how he does. So we're at the end of the season. Has Aston Villa managed to actually win a trophy now? They got 5th in the Premier League, which is slightly worse than last season. But they did better than Liverpool, who got 7th only. They lost to Burnley in the FA Cup, and then they lost to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. They could only make it to the Champions League round of 16, where they then lost to Arsenal. But Salah had a pretty decent season still, despite his age. He got 14 goals with 8 assists, so that now puts his total at 49 goals and 20 assists. But he still only has 1 trophy won. So in the last 2 seasons, he needs 26 more goals, 10 more assists, and at least 4 trophies. That will be difficult. But his time with Aston Villa is up, so he needs to find his retirement club. And a few different clubs offered for Salah. A few clubs in the MLS, also in the Saudi League. But Salah ended up rejecting them all to join the first European club he ever played for, FC Basel. Yes, that's right. He's going back to them to help them, and he will also have the ability to maybe even farm the last stats that he needs. Is this the right move for Salah? Or should he have chosen money instead? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to simulate the season. So let's see how he does in his second last season of his footballing career. And look at that. Basel has actually won the Swiss League. So that's his second trophy out of the 5. They even won the Swiss Cup. So that's now 3 out of 5. But they couldn't do that well in the Champions League. Couldn't even make it out of the league phase. But Salah did manage to get 10 goals with 6 assists, which is alright, but I would have hoped for a little better. But that means in his final season, he would need to get 16 goals with 4 assists and then win 2 more trophies. That's definitely not impossible. But we also got to remember he's now 38 years old, so he's on his last legs. But let's just simulate the final season of his career and see if he can complete the challenge with Basel. And Basel has won the Swiss League yet again. That's very good, which means they only need 1 more trophy. And 1 more trophy they have indeed won with the Swiss Cup. So that's the trophy challenge completed. But Basel couldn't win the Europa League. They lost in the playoffs. But now, for the moment of truth. Did Salah reach his goals and assists? Or has he just failed? Well, let's just see. And Mohamed Salah got 15 goals with 4 assists. Oh my days, that's just so unlucky. He completed his trophy stats. He completed his assists stats just about. But then he missed his goal stat by 1 goal. How unlucky can you be? But I would still say he had a successful end to his career. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and also remember to like and subscribe right now.